Has there ever been a time where you have been so consumed with anxiety that it has overwhelmed your life? Well, years ago, Monique Martineau did too, and that was her pivot point. She then had powerful experiences that transformed her life, which has brought her now to helping to bring the same goodness to the world through the sharing of deep and profound wisdom. Joining us today is Monique Martineau, and hi, Monique.
Hi, Jen. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you so much for sharing this time with me. And I'd like to take us right back to that time in 1986 when you had this very big pivot in your own life. So tell us about that.
Well, it was a tough one. I was 26, so I was young, and it kind of feels like it was my midlife crisis, even though I was only 26. I had it early. I had just come out of a really wonderful period in my life where I had finished college and then fell in love for the first time actually in college, and then went traveling with my love all across the country. And, I had put aside what most people were doing after college, which was to get the best job at IBM or Xerox, or these are the things my fellow students were doing at the time, and I decided to go play. So coming back from that, and then my partner went traveling, and I kind of knew, or at least my thoughts were telling me to break up with him. And then I had to go to work, which I didn't want to do. And I was in just total resistance. And then everything was happening. And it wasn't the dark night of the soul. I call it the dark year of the soul, because it just went on and on of things being stolen, breaking up with my guy. I had to move. I don't remember. There was financial stuff, that because I wasn't working, I didn't want to work. I wasn't really looking, but I'd go look, and they're like, well, what have you been doing? Why'd you travel? And what kind of, so I was thinking they thought maybe I was a flake. And so I was just like, And then on top of that, I got sick. So the doctors could not figure out what was wrong with me. I just went in time after time, kept going to ER, going, I have pain in my abdomen. They were guessing at all these different things. So I was sitting in ER, and this was 86, so it was not cool to close your eyes in public, and, it looked weird. But my dad had been telling me about meditation and all this. So, but first I was just sitting there just freaking out, as usual. And I closed my eyes, and I just had this thought, I don't care if I die, I just need peace of mind. And I remember there was a woman screaming down the hall, too. It's amazing how clear these memories are when it's so traumatic. It was that way. The front desk was there. People were sitting there. And I remember people having these ideas of you just send love, and I had no idea what that even meant, but she was screaming, and I just thought, I'm just gonna think about love and sort of think of a directional move that way. And that was one of the first things that I did in the meditation, and somehow having compassion for her helped ease my pain too.
So through these experiences, certainly they have been quite vast. Someone who's watching this right now who may be, feeling those times of anxiety or feeling really just under pressure, having a hard time feeling that they can get a grip on things or really find the light at the end of the tunnel. What would be something that you could suggest to someone as a first step or first few steps to be able to learn to manage that and to also connect with themselves inside?
Yeah, that's what we want to do. That's what I'm still to this day working on this, because it's an ongoing journey. So we all have different personality types, which I learned from working with Deepak. So for me, I'm a head type. I'm a thinker, and so for me, the balance was coming into my heart and into my body more. And working with Deepak, there's 3 different body-mind types that they call in Ayurveda Vata, Pitta, Kapha, but people don't know what that is. So I've taken dogs and applied them so that you'll get this immediately. The Vata is the poodle, which is the anxious one when imbalanced. The pit bull is Pitta, because that's angry when imbalanced. And the Kapha is the Saint Bernard, which is the mellow teddy bear type B personality, which I'm not. So it was so soothing to me to do any kind of personality thing. It was so soothing to know that I'm not a screw up. I'm not a problem because I'm anxious, and there's all the, why can't you be mellow like that guy? Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a Saint Bernard. That was really comforting to me. So that's one thing I do, and that can be a quick, take a look at a YouTube video and just look at personality types of like the Enneagram or Myers-Briggs, or that can be a semi-quickie, but of course in the moment most people know what to do, they're just not doing it. And so we know we should be taking time for ourselves, we should be getting exercise, getting enough sleep. So how do we get ourselves to do that when we're not doing what we know to do to chill out, even take a bath? And can that be simultaneously, this is what I asked myself, can that be simultaneously tied in with discovering who I really am at a much deeper, essential level beyond the personality type? I'm not this frenetic, I wasn't that back then, I'm not that now. There's an essential nature deep underneath that, as I've studied with Adyashanti, one of my current teachers. So to feel that, which is also very calming and a check-in, I just did it this afternoon, is to not get caught up in I have to meditate this many times a day or else I'm not doing it right and I won't ever get there. But to just anytime, anywhere, I did it in the car, in a parking lot, just closed my eyes and checked in. Like really checking in, going, how, what's needed right now? How are you? And just that in and of itself is so soothing to me. And it sort of reorients me and gets me out of taxes and I'm going to talk to Jennifer and what am I going to say?
Yeah, absolutely. And those are amazing points. Really, the first thing that sticks out to me is what you said, that there is not one cookie cutter answer for every person. We all have our unique spark and our joys and challenges, all different for everyone. So important that someone gives themselves permission to look at their own lives and to take that moment and say, what is it that this being really needs right now? That is really, really beautiful and a beautiful reminder. And so, do you have right now a message? If there was something that you could tell someone, anyone, right now, a message from your heart, what would that message be?
Yes. For me, I'm a wellness coach, so I've been in stress is my specialty, obviously. I mean, you can't be an expert at something unless you're an expert at something. So these things we're talking about are kind of standard so far. We hear these things out there. The most important thing, well, first of all, Adyashanti, my teacher, says, the most important thing is to find out what the most important thing is. And for me, that's really what's made me most calm is being able to differentiate between the ego, human, innocent, sweet girl and adult that lives here, differentiating between that and my essential nature, my higher self, my true nature, whatever you want to call that. Because any stress and anxiety that happens is over here and is not negated or judged over here. So over here there's many layers. I have a very sophisticated coach because I'm a coach and a teacher of this stuff, so it gets very sophisticated. But when I check in, I know, I go, oh. So that differentiation to me that's the purpose for me of life. That's what this whole thing is about. It's what has given me incredible equanimity is when I see Byron Katie work is a great one to get here. Is it true? Is it true? No, no, no. How do you feel when you think that thought? Terrible. Who would you be without that thought? Over here.
That is a great message and great reminders that we can all use every day. And Monique, I know you and I have so many other things to talk about, and I'd like to tell our watchers to know to tune in because we're going to be having more discussions soon. But in the meantime, how would people get in contact with you if they want to hear more about the work you do or to connect with you personally?
Okay. So I have my my personal website, which is moniquemartineau.com, and it's French, so it's Monique Martineau, which is Martin, E-A-U, is how you remember that, .com. That's my professional site that's for stress coaching and training and speaking, but you can probably feel it. I'm sort of minimizing that, which is interesting to observe in myself, because what I'm really excited about right now is the wisdom movement and being an ambassador for that. And that is about particularly the workplace and thriving workplaces. So all of that information, and now you see me smiling, it's so interesting. Go to wisdommovement.org, because that's the fun stuff that's happening right now. And we're on Facebook, wisdommovement.org. And that's my passion right now, and it's about service, it's about thriving for all of us.
Beautiful. Monique Martineau, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Jen. This is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Oh, yeah, thanks. And this is 8 Minutes of Awesome. I'm Jennifer Lipsky.